Hi, and welcome to Woman and Woman. And thank you for tuning in to the show today. And I thank my wonderful panelists on the show with me, my co-hosts Shirley and Boogie. How you both doing today?
Hey, we here.
You made it to.
Girl, yeah.
Last night was something. That whole election thing was just something. We're going to talk about the election today, so I can get that out of my system and get myself back right.
Yeah, because that was, that girl, okay, let me just breathe. Okay. How you feeling, Titty? You good?
I mean, I literally went through, it's emotional battle, and I went through a physical, seemed like almost physical battle as well, because when it first started off, it started looking kind of grim for Obama, and this I don't know, I couldn't get myself right. I started getting a headache. I was frustrated because I couldn't watch it like I wanted to. First, I'm on regular TV, and the channel kept coming in and out, and I couldn't really follow it. So I tried to get online to different websites to try to watch it live, and they weren't giving me the numbers like I wanted to see, and I kept trying different things. And it just was downing. I was starting to get a little depressed because I couldn't see like I wanted to. I couldn't keep up, and then it didn't look good for what I was looking at. And I started getting a headache. I got very frustrated. I was tired. I was literally tired of the election. It's down to the nitty gritty. We've been bombarded with all these commercials and ads and everything. And it's like, here it is. And then I was exhausted by the end of it. I was so tired. And then you called me.
I was sitting down watching TV, right? And I don't know what it was, but when I looked at the numbers the first time, I was like, oh, let me call T. But when I called you, it went right to your voicemail. I'm like, oh, Lord. And I know how you get sometimes. If something is going on with you, you won't answer that phone. So I kind of got a little nervous. But then you called me back, and then when you called me back, I couldn't hear what you were saying.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, Lord. It was just too many things going on.
I'm glad you did call me because I was slipping, and I think I needed the support, really, because I was like, and I needed to know what was going on. I couldn't really keep up with what was going on, but it was just so tiresome. I literally was getting a headache and getting very frustrated and getting mad.
But, I mean, I don't know. For us to get mad was the wrong thing, but I do recall a moment where you and I was telling you what was going on, and I'm like, it wasn't looking good at that time. And, I was like, T, we need to pray for real. Because, the whole thing is, if we put our trust in man and not in God, then things don't work out the way they're supposed to anyway. So I just feel like when we started praying together, literally together, things started changing. And I felt that immediately. You know what I mean? It's like a sense of relief almost. That's how it felt for me.
I was stressed, Boogie. How were you, Boogie? Were you as stressed as I was stressed? Because I was stressed.
Yeah, actually, when I came in from the gym, it was right about a little before 7. So I sat here in front of my TV in my man cave, and I turned on the TV and I saw that it was like 78 to 88 Romney. So I got nervous. I didn't move out of my chair for probably the next hour or so until the next time I looked, it was like 153 to 123 Romney, and I couldn't watch it for at least an hour. I turned it off for about an hour.
Yeah, it got to the point for me, too. It's like, I don't even know if I want to see anymore. It's like, I don't want to look at it right now.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But I wanted to, but I don't want to.
Right. But, it is.
I still think about all kinds of things. My boss is a supporter of Romney, of course, and so I kept saying to myself, I said, man, if President Obama wins again, then I know he's going to have an attitude. My boss is going to have an attitude tomorrow. He's going to call me first thing in the morning and say something, he's going to have an attitude or whatever just because he's a little upset about last night. So And in fact, he did call me this morning, and he had a little bit of an attitude, questioning where I was and was I coming into the office today and all that stuff. So, but people, I mean, everybody's going through a little emotional ups and downs today because of the election. I mean, of course, Romney supporters are pretty upset. I mean, they've been following this guy for at least a year.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be sad for them. I mean, they were thinking they were gonna have that guy in the White House that they were gonna support for the next 4 years, but now now they have to. Well, they don't have to support President Obama, but they really don't have a choice about who the leader is of the country now.
So much has come out in this election. So much as a nation, just to see the emotions come out behind this whole thing. There's some people that just hate Obama, and that's come out during this. How much a lot of people hate him.
Why do you think they hate him?
Ooh.
Please.
We're gonna talk about that too.
Okay.
We're gonna talk about that too.
Enlighten us.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that too. That's a segment that's got several different opinions hooked onto that, because me and Shirley were talking about that too. But all this has come out now, and just to see people react and to hear it, I'm so tired of hearing so much negative stuff from both sides, really. But even the debate stuff was back and forth. I'm like, I see a back and forth, bigger and blame this, do this. What I really wanted out of this whole thing was I want to hear, okay, Romney, what you trying to say? What's your plan? What's this? Obama, all right. What's your plan for the next 4 years? We've come this far. What's your plan for the next 4 years? And, how that's going to help everybody. That's really what I wanted to hear on both sides. And it kind of started trying to go that way, and then it got to a bunch of nitpicky fighting about little bitty different stuff, and stuff that even wasn't even really stuff to even be fussing about. And then it got to be a line issue and all this and that. I'm like, how you really going to convince people if we don't hear what you're trying to say? And don't tell me you got a plan, but you can't tell us what the plan is. I mean, what's the plan then?
Well, you know what? A person can have a plan when you're in office like that all day long for a variety of things that they would like to see done or, changes made. But regardless to the fact of what they're saying, it still has to be voted upon.
It does.
Okay, you can say you want to change minimum wage from $7.25 or whatever it is to $9. Okay, you can have all the documentation, and you're Democratic, and the Republican Party, the Senate is, they're in office too. They can all say no, and if they all say no, that's not going to move forward. So, regardless of what he has planned, it's a process for everything because everybody has to be on the same page. How you get them there and how they respond is what really matters.
I think it's more of a majority of vote, right?
To a certain degree, yeah, but I'm just saying, my whole point is no matter who is in charge, it doesn't mean that the economy or whatever they wish to say is going to just be okay like right now, because that's not how it works. It's not going to be like that. You know what I'm saying? And people can't just expect, well, okay, yeah, he's in charge, and he's gonna change this, and that, and the other. No, there's a process. You gotta, everybody has to be on the same page. And a lot of people look at, okay, well, how is this really going to affect my pockets? Because it's a money game too.
That I looked a lot at that aspect of it myself. Is how this is gonna affect. What points are you gonna bring forth, and how this is gonna affect my household, my job, my income, my security, well-being, my health, my insurance,
Exactly.
my livelihood. Some of the other little issues that people had a problem with, if it's not in one of those categories, it's not really, it could be relevant, but it's not first priority.
Right.
It's really everything else is kind of like a opinionation, whatever your personal preference, it starts hitting in that category over there if it's not one of these right here. Even the Medicare and the Social Security, that's hitting home for people here. That's hitting people's livelihood and pocket, not just a preference. Yeah, we're going to go there. It's just about who you want to lay in the bed with and what you want to do with your body. Really, those are pretty much personal preferences.
It is, because it's your body. You do what you want to do with it, as long as it don't affect me.
But there
Like,
was so much hatred. There's so much I'm tired of hearing them blaming the president for that he's not even responsible for.
well, but he's responsible for the fact because he said, "I'll take the responsibility," which makes him, to me, that makes him a better person because the average Joe Blow is not going to be responsible for something that they did not do in the first place. But he at least stepped up to the plate and he said, "Well, I'm in charge. I'll take that responsibility." Okay, I respect him for that.
Well, many people expected him to make changes to something that's been terrible and bad for like 8 years straight. I mean, how do you change that in a year or two, or even 4 years?
Okay, how long did it take for it to get like that? You said 8 years?
It was when did it happen? I mean, it seems like to me, in my opinion, that it doesn't take long for things to go bad, but it takes a while to make them better.
It takes even longer when you got other
It makes
people
sense.
who are not focusing on trying to make it better, just focusing on the fact that they want to just say no.
Exactly. Well, yep.
And you got to
That's why I
keep,
say,
well,
like
and it's
what
hard
you
for.
said, it took 8 years, for things to get bad. It's gonna probably take another 8 for it to even come around somewhat because again, it's a process that has to be done to get the balls rolling the way they need to roll. It's not going to just happen overnight. And people who feel like that, something wrong with them to me.
I kind of relate it to I kind of relate it to credit.
Okay.
Your credit can get bad off of one thing.
Mhm.
If you don't pay it. It can go in your credit, be in your credit for 30, 60, 90 days, and if you don't have the money to pay it off, then your credit's bad for X amount of time.
Absolutely.
But so it doesn't take long for things to get bad. I mean, one thing can lead to another and another, especially if you don't have the cash or the money to pay that thing off. And even when you pay it off, it's still on your credit for a certain amount of time.
Absolutely. And
So it takes a long time to make things better.
Yeah, you're right.
It does, but it's sad when when you can see, you got people who are, you got a president who is trying to take a step forward in a different direction to try to get us moving, and then you got people that are pretty much like a barricade to move forward, but you don't have anything. Either you can come out with something better, if you can think of something better, give that to the president so he can work with, or don't stand in the way of what they have come up with to try to get something moving better. If you can't do anything better than what's on the table to move forward, then help that idea move forward the way it is.
I don't know if it's when you say standing in the way, I think you're right in a sense because of course with this president, I mean there comes it comes with other issues of people just not liking him because of certain reasons that we will not name, but they do that on purpose to make him look bad, and that's the problem. They don't want to solve the problem; they rather just make him be the problem, continuously be the problem, over and over. Even those ads on TV that were supporting Romney, you heard it. I mean, I heard them, and I'm like, wow, really? He was in office 12 years ago. Yeah, it's like they blame the economy on him.
Because it's easier to pass the blame on someone else opposed to taking responsibility for what you did or did not do. That's what that boils down to. I mean, I could, okay, Boogie and T, let's just say I'm going to blame T because of the little gremlin not winning because she didn't cast her vote. Okay?
What'd you call him?
Little gremlin.
Well, how you call him a gremlin?
Because that's what he looks like with his grins.
Hey, caller, how you doing?
Hello.
Hey, Felicia.
Hello.
Hey,
How are
Felicia.
you?
How you
Hey,
doing?
Felicia.
Good.
I'm doing great. I was actually doing a presentation, so I just got through and came back up. So, how's everybody doing?
Girl, we are tired.
I'm tired.
We are truly tired. We were talking about...
Is that a black Republican just chimed in? Okay. Huh?
Really? You going to call her that?
Huh?
You going to call her out like that?
Why am I Republican?
I'm just asking.
Oh.
He's trying to be funny.
Oh, okay.
That's right. I'll go to his house and I'll beat him up for y'all.
No, but even though Obama won, I know he's not responsible for my success.
Right.
I tell anybody that.
Thank you. He is not. He is just a man. So I have to agree with you. High five in the air.
Yeah, high five on that one. But I hear a lot about what he is not doing right and all this negative stuff, but I hardly ever hear the positive stuff that, I see that he's been doing. That
Oh,
irritates
no, they
me.
don't want to talk about that. They
Huh?
ain't going to do that. They're not going to talk about that.
Well, they were talking last night about that, and they blamed it on President Obama. They blame it on his camp because he never, in his ads, he never emphasized that, or never brought that up in his ads that, stuff like he bailed out there was the auto, the
the automotive industry?
Yeah, he bailed them out, and then also called Obama. They said they never ran ads about the positives, about those things. He never did that.
Well, why should he have to?
Well,
He shouldn't have to.
I feel like it really helped his campaign, but of course he didn't need it. But the reason why those things were never brought up was that the positives were that he never actually emphasized those.
He didn't have to expose the good because Romney was too busy making himself look bad. Because with the auto industry, they were saying that Romney was saying something about sending some jobs overseas.
I saw a commercial about Romney and about this man's job and stuff, and he was talking real bad about Romney because Romney let his job go, and stuff like that. But I'm like, that wasn't good for him.
Okay, but look, this my thing about that. Okay, we have people that are right here in the States who need to work, and if we keep sending, better example, customer service for companies like Dell, some of the other bigger companies, they use people who are overseas, and I ain't trying to be mean or ugly, but let me tell y'all, when I call those places to get some assistance, I need to be able to understand what the hell you saying.
That's what a lot of people say.
And I mean, because even with the company, we lost a lot of providers because they're like, well, I don't understand what your people are saying because they don't know. First of all, they don't know how we actually do our things. They read from a script. Well, a script can only tell you so much. I need you to be able to tell me what your real name is. If your name is Taekwondo, don't sit up here and tell me your name is Michael because you can't even say Michael. So no, I ain't trying to. Ooh, please don't get me on there, because, girl, no. As a matter of fact, let me give y'all a good example. I had made a phone call no, they called me, as a matter of fact. I had called because I had ordered this cream that I wanted to get hydroxytone for my face. Okay, so I got my little order. Well, this guy calls me, and he's like, well, you owe $100 and something. I said, no, I don't. I said, because I'm sending it back to you. So then he says to me, well, my name is Eduardo. Knowing good damn well what his name was not freaking Eduardo because he couldn't even spell it. He says, well, I can give you my employee discount and you can get it for like $70-something. I'm like, no, I'm sending it back. And he steadily talks chit. In the background, I can hear all these little un-English speaking people in the background. I couldn't understand a word that they were saying, not a word. So, no, I feel like if I'm here in America, my customer service needs to be over here where I can understand the people. I'm sorry. That's my personal feeling, and I'm entitled to it. This message was approved by Shirley.
That was one big thing that was irritating to me was how Romney was really against the Obamacare. But it was pretty much fashioned after his Romney Care in Massachusetts and made national. But he talked bad about Obamacare.
He's a hater. That's all. He is a hater. Does anybody other than me feel like this election was more about black and white than anything else?
That came out to about civil stuff.
It's always about black and white. This is just the first election that they probably touched on it.
I mean, really, and the funny, I was telling T, I think I told Boogie this earlier, Felicia, my little friend came by here, a little 6-year-old boy, him and his mom came by. And at school, the kids got, they had the little votes or whatever. So she told me to ask him who he I shouldn't even say this out loud.
Say it.
I'm just going to say part of it. He, what did you say? He say it?
Say it.
Okay, he said, well, I voted for Obama. And I said, well, why? He said, because the other man was not black and I don't too much care for the white people. And I was like, well, why? He said, because they don't think like we do. And I was like, oh, okay. And it really caught me off guard. This is a 6-year-old saying this.
Yeah.
And, you know, and that's, it makes me wonder, what are you really being taught in school now? You know? And then I don't know, y'all.
I'm still trying to understand and wrap my around why some people are just hating him so much. Just straight hateful. I'm like, well, what is it that you really hate him for? And then they can't even really give me a real good, solid thing that they really hate about him. They just hate him.
Yeah. On my Facebook page this morning, I put, regardless of the progress that's made in this country, racism is still alive.
It is.
I said, and some people hide it behind Christianity. I said, stop being religious. I said, religion is not spirituality. So stop being religious and get to the spiritual. Because I've seen a couple of posts, you know. I mean, do I believe in everything that Obama agrees with, that he supports? No.
I don't.
I don't. I really don't. But the fact of the matter is, he reached more people than Romney. That's all it was. He reached more people. Romney is still about white America, the man, the white male, being dominant, business, you know, and because America decided to be a melting pot, you cannot just cater to that, to them, because America is a melting pot. Now America agreed to let people come overseas, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why in the world would you still cater to the original, what they say is the original, you know what I'm saying, to white America? Because whites are not the majority anymore.
Oh, not anymore.
Did you know I saw a picture on Facebook of a gas station that had a mannequin hanging up with the face made like Romney? I'm not Romney, but Obama, with a placard around his neck and shirt, and it had a noose hanging up at the gas station.
I can believe that.
They had him hanging up on a noose with some message. A picture, he was turned, his body part was turned sideways, so I couldn't read the message on the little piece of paper they had on his chest, but he was hanging up. I'm like, just complete. I mean, like, really, that was just totally unnecessary, and just went to the extreme. I'm like, really? They got you hanging up in public by your neck with a noose?
I'm telling you, I don't care what people say, racism is alive, and it's in North Carolina.
Yes, it is. I'm in North Carolina with you, honey. I hear you.
It's actually all over, because, I mean, you know, there's places here in Texas that I wouldn't go to, not by myself, and if I had to stop, I'm going to make sure I got full tank of gas. I'm going to keep right on rolling.
Girl, I'm down in the straight sticks.
Yeah, y'all, oh yeah, T, because you out there in the backwoods.
I done moved to a part where this little corner, I call it a corner because it ain't really a town. We got a caution light and a duck through right there up the street, like a block. But here, people still like in the 50s. I mean, even the buildings are like in the 50s. There's no building higher than 2 stories here. You know, there's no malls. The people are in a, it's almost like I went back in time, girl. The people here, just to hear them talk and stuff. And this guys, I got so much to politics is now the sermons are about the elections here. And about, you know, vote on godly principle and this and that, and kind of like a sway and vote this and that. But
that's just like back in the day, them trying to say that God meant for Africans to be slaves. You know what I'm saying? They tried to use the Bible to justify why they had slavery.
That devil is a lie.
What?
I'm like, what, too?
Y'all never heard that?
Mm-mm.
They was talking about Ham and all of that. If I'm not mistaken, read up on it. They used to use that. You know, they used to use that. They believe that.
And
they believe that.
You know,
comparing us like with the Israelites and stuff like that.
And I do understand the church is saying, vote based on biblical principle. But here's the thing about that, which I think is kind of hard, I would say, to really do, because the stuff that they're considering in that one of the main things they're talking about is gay rights and marriages, and then the abortion issue about the abortion thing. Those things too are personal preferences. People are going to do it either way, no matter who in office, no matter who you elect. It comes down to the personal choice of that individual. We have a choice every day to sin or not sin, whether whoever is the president, over no matter how many years have gone by, you still faced with the same choices day to day. Either you're going to do right or you're going to do wrong. But to try to say, even if Romney did make it, I mean, he can't stop people from choosing to be that way.
Yeah.
Or what people are going to do with their body. The people are going to do what they're going to do anyway. It's really not, unless you're going to hunt them down, try to kill them, and start some kind of Christianity war on telling people how to live and stuff, and really change democracy altogether.
Right.
That's how I feel on that subject. Because it's kind of hard, because I understand the fact that you want to kind of go with people who don't support certain things, but you have no control over what people choose to be.
Right.
No.
What if those people change their mind and get saved later?
Exactly.
What if some people get saved and go back out there and do this stuff? I mean, the president still doesn't have a hell or heaven to put anybody in. He can't stop people from choosing to be this way or that way.
You're right.
I mean, really. I mean, lesbian and gay stuff go all the way back to biblical day. Whole city got burnt. Actually, I think it was probably worse. He burnt down a whole darn city, Sodom and Gomorrah. Couldn't even find 10 righteous people to hold up from not burning down a whole darn city. Didn't matter who was in charge.
Right.
Doesn't matter who leadership it was under. It still has been an issue all through now. And it's almost like I feel like, okay, is this something that people act like this is something that's just happening now? And, it just feel like it's all pressing off. This has been an issue go back to biblical day.
Yeah.
With that,
I think people are more shocked because people are more open about it.
and that's another thing that's bothering me. It's trying to push to make it culturally acceptable, something that's really immoral. I ain't even going to be ashamed to say that. It's just not right. Animals got more sense than that. You don't see male horses on other male horses. I ain't never seen it. I ain't never seen no cows. I ain't seen no cats doing that mess. I ain't seen it. Now that make a lot. That's something to say when the animal got more sense than that.
Right, that girl.
And we are like we don't know what to do with ourselves.
Yeah.
That's a darn shame.
Right. Yes, it is.
And I would think we have more sense than animals.
Well, maybe that's the problem. Maybe we're thinking too hard.
Now I know I made some people mad. I just had to come out there with that. I know I made some people mad. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, but it's because we have authority. We have choices. That God gave us choices, and He gave us the authority. And we have yet to realize that. I'm just now realizing that, in the last couple of years. So it's really when He gave us that choice, He knew we needed help.
I'm hearing a lot though. I'm hearing a lot go on the president or in these positions about. It's almost like however the president is, it's going to be kind of how it leads the whole world or what have you. But
it's really the church.
Exactly. That's what I'm coming down to. Really, no matter
church.
what the president actually have a personal preference or believe itself, if the people of God are not standing up for the people of God, then what's the difference? You can't expect Obama to change something and then you just go to church, put your Bible down and pick it up, and then that's it. You don't do nothing else. You don't pray, you don't fast, you don't do nothing. But you call yourself a Christian and want things to change, but you ain't doing anything about the change as the people of God.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What you expect the president to do where the church folks at? Everybody want to get spiritual here come election time, but where are they going at knocking door to door? Where the fasting at? I mean, really, where are they going out and witnessing the people and stuff? The church, the body of Christ is not getting up doing things that it should be doing. And now look at the world's going, some people would say to hell in a handbasket, but the people of God got to step up at some point and intervene, or the society is going to go is going to keep going down the road is tending to trying to go in.
That's probably another reason he won, because of hope. People have lost hope in, for lack of a better word, in their religion. I think, especially Christianity, when we fail to realize that everything that needs to be done, God has already done, and He's imparted that into us. But until we line up with Him, then we will never receive that full potential. You know what I'm saying? We'll never receive that. And that's serious, because we always thinking from a natural perspective. And when you get into that, when you get into like your spirituality, that's really the most important thing, is tapping into your spirituality, into the spirit being. That's where all the power is. The power ain't in the flesh.
And that happens with each person individually. People as individuals have to make that choice, whether you're going to be saved and godly, unsaved, ungodly, whether you're going to do this or whether you're going to that, whether you're going to be gay or you're going to be straight, or you're going to, do whatever you're going to do. That's an individual thing. The president can't do anything about your salvation.
No, it's up to the church. I mean, not up to the church to stop, but it is up to the church to take responsibility with what God has, placed on the church, and that the church is the people. Mm-hmm. The people, the individuals.
But the people got to also, be willing to take that chance and go to the church so they can, learn godly ways and read the Bible, and don't just sit there and watch TV and think that you're going to learn about life on TV, because it's not how it's going to be. Things happen because people they're afraid. First of all, they're afraid to change, and I mean, man, I had to catch my breath because I just get...
Yeah, could change. I mean, it's a lot been changing. Some good things and a whole lot of bad things been changing.
But if we don't have change, then everything stays the same. Then we don't progress. We just stay stuck in a rut, and then we be mad because you don't have no money, because you don't have a job, because you don't have an education. But that's your choice. It's a person's choice whether they go to school or not and learn. You go to school, you can't just go just to be going because Family Joe going. You got to go with the intent on learning something so you can better yourself, so you can get out there in the real world and find you a job and take care of your family and support the people and do whatever needs to be done. But you have to be willing to make the change.
True.
And if you're not, then you don't have the right to complain if you don't get out there and get a job. If you don't go vote, you really don't have the right to complain, because that person's one vote could make a difference in a lot of other things. Don't complain if you're not going out there doing your paperwork like you're supposed to, and go to the polls and give your opinion. That's why it's there. And that is one thing that irritates the crap out of me when people talk about, oh, well, I didn't go vote. Shut up. Just shut up.
Wow.
Yeah.
But why do we think, like, the Bible says that, we should leave an inheritance, for our children's children. So why do we think that we're going to get rich working for somebody else? I really can't get that logic.
I think that's
my dad has always told me that you can't get rich working for anybody else. That's why he's owned his own business for the last 30 years. He'll say that to the he says it today. You can't get rich working for somebody else.
You can't. And God has given us, I don't care what you do something. I don't care. Just, especially if you're looking for a job or looking for, promotion or looking for increase. It may not be on that job. It may, but that's just the seed. That's just the seed. And I will never understand that. You can't get rich. TT, you got more creations than I know of. I know one day all that seed is gonna come to harvest. I just hope you remember me when it do.
I will remember you.
Felicia, gonna give us a ticket sign. We believed in her, and we want the little people. I hope she supports us.
I'm gonna be making my own money. I just want to be able to travel.
Right.
I want to be able. Hey, look, we about to the radio shut down for this week. We about to go.
But you know what? That's so funny. The thing is, and I have to say, and I mean, Felicia, I don't know a whole lot about you, but I've talked to TT like every day, sometimes 2, 3, 4 times a day. That girl got some hustle up in her.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, she will take something very creative and won't give up on it. Has written a book, writing another book, makes jewelry, does stuff for the kids, gets out into the community. She's just constantly doing. And if we all were like that, I think we would all be in a better place, more at peace with things. Because she get out there, she make it happen the best that she knows how. And
right.
I think that when you really look at it, God looks down upon that. He's smiling because she's getting out there, she's doing what she's supposed to do. Right now, I don't have the energy to do that, but I need to get up off my tail.
Well, you better find it.
Right there, you know I'm trying.
You better find that energy.
Yes, I know it. Ooh.
Yeah, girl, 'cause you got to roll with me. You got to roll with me now. You got to have energy.
But it does my heart good just to hear. Even Boogie, because Boogie, he has a regular job, but he does side stuff, and he makes his little money and stuff, and it does be good, especially see young black people get up and do that. It makes me feel good. It really does.
Yep.
Because you think about all the people of non-color. They making money. Why can't we? They live in the big old houses. I want a big house too one day. I think. I don't know, because I got to clean that back. I got to clean that. I don't know about all that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you got to clean it up.
Yeah, and I don't want to pay nobody to do it because, nobody can clean my house the way I can clean it. No one. I don't care if you got a license to clean with the school for it. I'm real specific.
Girl, shoot, if you making the money, you'll find somebody to clean like you want, especially if you paying them. I will pay somebody in a minute to cook and clean for me. Cook a healthy meal and clean. I'm not even going to lie. So I received that. I'll wait.
I don't know. I'm real, Felicia. I'm for real. I'm Boogie to tell you, because that's my blood. I'm real funny about people eat food. Real funny.
Well, you got to think about food coming up next, because Thanksgiving right around the corner.
And I'll be cooking my own dinner.
Yeah. I'm just glad that it's over with now. I don't want to see another commercial or nothing. It's
what about them calls we was getting? Oh, that was crazy. I was getting calls on my work phone, my work line, because it used to be a private, evidently residential.
Sure.
I was getting like 6 calls a day.
I was getting calls and emails.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just, the touchy things are the little comments. They still out there, and then on Facebook and stuff, the little comments I got to kind of hold my face about, because I just, okay, we're going to get off that shit. But it's finally over with, and but I'm not even as happy as I kind of want to be, but I'm glad it's over with. I got frustrated off something I read today about, well, now that America is just screwed stuff. Y'all stop laughing, because I know y'all seen it.
I saw it too.
And it's like,
what's up with that?
I'm just like,
'cause I never put anything, about, even though I voted for Obama, I never put anything on there, about Mitt Romney this. Other people might have, but I never did.
What are they going to solve? Being negative, like I told them earlier, you were on the phone call, to me, he looks like a little gremlin. But I wouldn't post that on my Facebook, because that's my opinion, and I'm talking to my individual friends. He looked like a gremlin to me. He looked real, real sneaky. I'm sorry.
I'm
not
like,
going to go out there and post, oh, yeah, the gremlin didn't win.
Yeah.
So many people is like, okay, well, America's going to go, down after this. I'm like, what is it that you think that he should be doing more that he ain't trying to do, He's trying to stop so much in the military overseas and stuff right now. He's trying to get people in school and get jobs and stuff and come up with energy efficient resources for the nation. And he's trying to fix healthcare issues and overspending money management issues and trying to find a way to do all that and keep the budget from just totally bottoming out. He's trying to bring jobs on. He's trying to do this, this, and this, and this. And all I hear people do is complain. The man can never do enough. The man can't do nothing right in certain people's eyes. And it's just, I'm like, really? Wow. And you still hating him? What else is he not doing? Somebody tell me. Am I missing it?
I know, right?
Am I missing it? Did I miss it?
He didn't get lighter.
He what?
He didn't get lighter.
You so...
Well,
Wow.
I can't help that. Really, and it's like I can't find anything else why these people are such a hatred there other than like, okay, is it just because he's black now? Because I mean, it ain't like the man ain't trying. People are not even admitting that he's trying. You know what I'm saying?
I don't care what they say.
They're trying to say we got worse. No, that's proof that we've gotten better. I don't know where you getting information from.
No, when Bush left office, he told everybody it's every man for themselves, so all the crap started coming out, and they left Obama. Come on, you know that was a setup. That first McCain, he would have died the first year in office. That man was old.
You sure right.
Well,
you know
I know he's still breathing, though.
On how old you could be before you run anyway. President Obama is 50. The gremlin is 65. He too old, first of all, to be trying to run anything but his car.
And his wife said, they was talking on the news saying Mitt Romney's wife said if he don't win, they through with politics. She said
well,
she
I sure hope so.
But a smile comes to mind when I see the President Obama and his family. You know, they're out of all the presidents that I've really seen and watched as growing up from a child. They stay family oriented. They're positive. You know, I see him kiss and hold, his wife, hold hands. I mean, there's a love that they share with the general public there. It don't look like a political face. You know how before, the wife stand by the husband and she just looks like she's just there. And, but them, it's like they're happy and they're there together.
That's because she keep them in check.
You see them smiling. You see them
we
kissing.
want to get on that, Boogie?
No, we don't have to.
He'd be the one up on all of us.
There's a happy
I'm glad
family
I missed
there.
it.
And to go through all the stress of being a president and the what that puts on a family household with a mom and dad participating, they still look happy and family oriented. You see pictures of them together. Nobody's looking, and the children don't seem to be acting all out. Granted, they still kind of young, but I don't hear about them drinking in the nightclub and somebody had to go do this and that and acting a fool. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the real question is, what are we going to do about it in the next 4 years?
No, but I'm proud of myself, of the accomplishments they have been trying to do and have done. And, I'm praying for the president and his family and some of the plans in motion. And I'm praying for some other things for our nation and for our people. And some other areas where I don't necessarily have the same views as the president on. But overall, I'm glad to see we're doing something, and it seems to be positive.
I agree. I would have to agree.
So
I think, we're just going to have to move forward, press, that's it. And don't focus on the negative. Focus on the positives that he has done and that he is doing, and, realize that there's a process for any change that gets made. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to take 2 or 3 years. It's going to take a lifetime for everything to go the way it's supposed to if you follow God's will. That's what it boils down to.
That's like striving to have a perfect walk with Christ. I mean, it may take your whole lifetime. You can still strive for it, but
absolutely.
Hey,
but you got to be willing to take that chance. And see, I mean, I know you're not supposed to put your faith in man, and I'm not saying that I am,
right?
But that's what God is, saying. Because Felicia, last night there was a time when I had called T, and both of us was girl. I was almost in tears because I was so nervous, but I didn't want her to know that. Because, we got to stand strong for each other.
Right.
And we had to, literally stop and pray at that moment because, and I feel like once we prayed about it, things just kind of got better. I would watch it and then I would turn away from it because I can't just sit there and watch the numbers fluctuate up and down. I just can't do it.
Yeah,
it was the same thing.
Yeah, it was. It was. Well, we're coming down. We're coming down to the end of the show. I'd like to thank the listeners for tuning in today to Woman to Woman. We hope you join us next week, Wednesday, same time, same channel. Be blessed, good people. Thank you.